Healthy Beginnings Connect Us empowers families to thrive through holistic well-being, early child development, and accessible health care.
We are committed to fostering connections, knowledge sharing, and support networks that enhance the physical, mental, and emotional health of children, parents, and caregivers.
By building bridges between healthcare providers, social services organizations, educators, and families,
we aspire to create a world where every child experiences a healthy and nurturing start.
Setting the foundation for a brighter future.
Sergeant Oberhausen demonstrated immediate leadership and situational awareness when she reviewed the details of a high-priority call and recognized the gravity of the situation. Without hesitation, she made direct contact with the reporting party and established a line of communication with the adult victim who was actively being held against her will in a vehicle and driven around Louisville. The victim was screaming over the phone that the suspect was going to kill her and her infant son. Sergeant Oberhausen maintained calm professionalism, guiding the mother to provide continuous updates on her location and the evolving threat. Her ability to keep the victim engaged in talking provided responding officers with real-time intelligence that was crucial to the successful resolution of the incident. Now for Officers Emmerich and Allen. Simultaneously, Officer Allen utilized flock camera technology. It's coming into play here. That's why we pay for it. And to identify the suspect vehicle and quickly distributed an image of it to fellow officers. Officer Emmerich, who had recently observed the vehicle pass by, was able to use that information to lock in on the suspect's direction of travel. The situation became even more critical when Sergeant Oberhausen learned that the suspect was transporting the victims to a specific location in order to retrieve a firearm or making specific threats that he was going to kill the victims. This development significantly escalated the danger to the mother and the infant. With urgency heightened, Officers Emmerich and Allen responded Code 3 to the area based on the most current information provided by Sergeant Oberhausen. Upon arrival, they acted swiftly and tactically, locating the suspect vehicle, rescuing both victims and taking the suspect into custody without further incident. The listed officers performed a heroic act that resulted in saving the lives of the young mother and her 4-month-old child, preventing a heinous crime and apprehending the suspect. Now, when I talked to Major Lewis of the 4th Division, he said, oh yeah, this is what they do every day. So think about that as we discuss the needs of LMPD and the service that they provide to their community. So thank you, gentlemen. Now I'm going to read one of these. They're big. So, this is Officer Kenneth Allen, and then the other one goes to Officer Emmerich. To all of whom these letters shall come, greetings. Know you that the Louisville Metro Council, in spirit of deep gratitude, honors Officer Kenneth Allen, whereas in honor of his exceptional leadership, dedication to justice, and servitude as an officer in the 4th Division of the Louisville Metro Police Department, whereas Officer Kenneth Allen of the Louisville Metro Police Department demonstrated exceptional initiative, technical skill, and dedication during a life-threatening kidnapping event on August 7, 2025. Whereas Officer Allen utilized advanced flock camera technology to swiftly identify the suspect vehicle involved in the abduction of the mother and her 4-month-old child, providing critical intelligence that enabled officers to track and intercept the suspect. His rapid response and coordination with fellow officers directly contributed to the safe rescue of both victims and the apprehension of the suspect without further harm. Whereas Officer Allen's actions exemplify the values of courage, teamwork, and commitment to public safety, reflecting great credit upon himself and the Louisville Metro Police Department. Whereas for being a dedicated and civic-minded community servant who has demonstrated exceptional bravery, strengthening his community, and exemplifying compassion and service to others, Officer Kenneth Allen is deserving the highest recognition and praise. We hereby confer the title of Distinguished Citizen. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the community of Metro Louisville, hereby confer and pay tribute by way of this proclamation with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, and testimony we have caused these letters to be made in the seal of Metro government to be given to effect. That of Louisville Metro City Hall, within the Commonwealth of Kentucky, forget the date, this was done a while back, we're just not able to get the date here. This 25th day of September 2025. Thank you. Thank you, and don't want to forget Officer Emmerich in here too, because of his swift action, he was able to prevent this heinous act from occurring also. So, thank you, Officer Emmerich.
Madam Clerk, are there any addresses to the council?
Yes, sir, there are.
Let me remind those addressing the council to please refrain from using profanity or making derogatory statements towards council members. Additionally, the council rules provide that no more than 3 people may speak to the position on the same topic. I know that we've got at least 3 folks lined up in the queue that I see that will be speaking about our Inspector General in support of that reappointment. So those will be the only 3 that we will allow regarding that particular topic. Madam Clerk, please call speakers.
Shonda Lee.
My name is Shonda Lee, and I live in District 14. Currently fighting some charges for disorderly conduct when my youth was playing too loud. I'm gonna say this plain, because I know some of y'all don't listen too well unless your power is challenged. So let's talk about accountability. This vote sits right here. Metro Council decides this. There is no committee or outside force behind it. You decide whether this city keeps real oversight, or whether you weaken it. Let's be clear on the facts. Yes, subpoena power has to come from the state legislature. We all know that. But this council never made it a priority to demand it. You didn't lobby for it. You didn't stand publicly for it. You didn't fight for the tools of accountability were needed from day one. So Ed Harness has only not been perfect because you left the office underpowered on purpose. Meanwhile, y'all approved billions of dollars for LAPD without hesitation. So who exactly supposed to hold them accountable? Ed Harness has done everything that he could with the little support he was given. And that type of support came from right here. So to deny him the tools and then turn around and say he hasn't done enough is manufactured failure. Just in case that's not clear for anybody in here, that means y'all set him up to fail and then y'all trying to use the struggle you caused as an excuse to remove him. And we see it. Every time someone in this city gets close to real accountability, suddenly there's concerns, issues, and personality conflicts. No, this is power protecting itself again. The community has been consistent. We want transparency. We want oversight. We want real consequences when the harm is done. No statements, no symbolisms, not press conferences, results. So if you say Black Lives Matter, prove it. If you say Justice Matter, prove it. If you claim to serve the people, stand on it right now when there are no cameras clapping for you. Because this vote is not about one man. This vote is about whether your public words mean anything when it's time to act. So do your job. Vote to reappoint Ed Harness, not as a favor to us, but because it is the only vote that aligns with fairness, transparency, and the city you claim to represent. Good evening, members of the council. I stand before you tonight to voice my strong support for the reappointment of Ed Harness. as the Inspector General for our city. The work of the Inspector General is fundamentally about people power. The work of the Inspector General, every investigation, every finding, and every recommendation issued by the OIG, it is a step towards making our government more responsive and more accountable to the citizens that it serves. We want to empower our citizens. And when residents see an independent body actively rooting out waste and corruption, their faith in our government, it is strengthened. The OIG gives a voice to concerned citizens, ensuring that their concerns about how their tax dollars are spent, and not only just feeling like they are heard, but that things are thoroughly investigated. Metro Council, you have an accountability to taxpayers. Reappointing Ed Harness ensures that we maintain a strong, active check on power. A check that ensures every public dollar is spent with the utmost care. By supporting Inspector General Harness, we are not just supporting an office. We are upholding the principle that this government is working for its people. Ed Harness is a proven leader. We see his dedication, independence, and professional discipline. And his track record, it speaks for itself. In conclusion, I am urging that the Metro Council vote in favor of reappointing Ed Harness as our Inspector General because it is the best path forward for our city.
That's right.
For upholding the highest standard of ethics in our city and supporting a proven leader who has earned our trust. Thank you.
Roger Whitaker. Bianca Austin.
Good evening, council members. Excuse me, I have to read from my phone tonight because I really would like to discuss it. My name is Bianca Austin. I'm the co-founder of a nonprofit, Family United. It's a national nonprofit. We travel across the country, standing in solidarity for impacted families of police brutality. I joined you here tonight because this city is at a crossroads. One where trust, transparency, and transformation truly matters. The decision you made tonight to reappoint Inspector Ed Harness is not just a procedural vote. It's a vote whether Louisville keeps its promise to the community.
That's right.
Keeps its promise to the community who's been doing the work tirelessly. Mr. Harness has worked to bring integrity, accountability into our system, to shine the light where there is too often darkness. He's shown up for the families, for victims, for the community members who have been asking for fairness. Just fairness, consistency, and oversight. That kind of leadership takes courage and compassion. Reappointing Ed Harness sends a clear message that Louisville is serious about justice, we're serious about the community voice, and we're serious about keeping our city safe for everyone. We talk often about healing and rebuilding and putting trust back in the communities that we serve and building that bridge, that gap, that misinformation between the community and law enforcement. But trust cannot grow with just accountability. We need Ed Harris. He represents the accountability moving forward. Failing to reappoint him will set us back. And we are at a time where we need him now. So tonight, I ask you, not just as a council member, but as a steward to the city's moral direction, to do what's right, stand with the community, stand for transparency, and vote yes to reappoint Inspector Ed Harris. Thank you.
Antonio Brown.
How you doing? Why is this city so segregated? Segregated by class, segregated by race. Because of that, we segregated by mind. I remember growing up and hearing, what would Jesus do? But today, it feels like our Metro Council members, most of our Republicans, is asking, what would Satan do? Our country is taking American citizens, locking them up, putting them across the street. Taking citizens, immigrants, even families, putting them in dying situations like alligator Alcatraz. Just to search for a better way. I know this country is recreating the same conditions of slavery and call it good policy. And I know that y'all probably saying to yourself, AB, I don't got nothing to do with that. Old standards. The mindset of local leaders shaped this state. The state shaped this nation. Right here in this city, we've seen what good organizing looks like. We've seen what the people speak, and the mayor, who I don't care for, listen and refer to Inspector General, who the people chose. That sounds like central accountability. I'm not talking about him. Let me finish. You, Metro Council, you control the outer layer like the egg. You're taking the yolk. I ask y'all this. How many of y'all are millionaires? I close school off the backs of taxpayers. Yeah, I think I lost your hand. If y'all have a head in for the people that say y'all represent. Because only empathy we see is not protecting ourselves by any means necessary. It's like when the head of the police union walk in here, he don't ask y'all for anything. He tells y'all, you gotta do it because he protects your assets, not the community. They're not here, at least I feel like that. They're not here to protect the people. They're here to protect property. This is why you go to the grocery stores right now, you see them lined up on guard. But you go to police, go to bus stops, where are they at? After 2 black women was killed. We all know the government spend the money for SNAP benefits. We look through the paper, right? The people was hungry and got threatened with jail because they're trying to feed their children. It reminded me of a story. Someone told me how to make butter. You gotta beat it. You gotta beat it, and you gotta keep beating it, you make butter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this fits the situation or not. But I know, I claim I did nothing wrong, but this community is tired of being beaten, pressed, and turned into butter. We've been beaten long enough. And why y'all been beating us? This city has been sitting on between 3.5 and $7 billion in a rainy day fund. If y'all had windows right now, y'all see it's raining right now. All power to the people.
Denise Watson.
Please take my hand out to discuss to you for my credentials. I've been working on city ordinances and state laws since 1988. I now work out of my home office as a private clinician in massage therapy in Briarwood. I've had 2 board attorneys in the state of Kentucky tell me there's no such thing as legislative intent. If you are not precise in how you write an ordinance or law, it may be interpreted and used very differently by another attorney or enforcement officer. This ordinance has a number of issues in that area. Massage therapists licensed by the Kentucky Board of Licensure for Massage Therapy undergo rigorous testing, fingerprinting, a thorough background check, a thorough review of their transcripts, and the credentials of the school they attended for massage training before their license were required to practice according to a very strict code of ethics and standards of practice. Violations can and have resulted in the loss of license, which is reported to a national regulatory board's database for reference by other boards. See your handout at the bottom of it for excerpts from our code of ethics and the standards of practice. So this means we're already heavily regulated. Last night, a client, someone else's client, recorded and sent to me a council member's aide telling him that an LMT doesn't have to get a doctor's referral to work the police because it's about intent. He said that as long as the LMT's intent was not sexual, they could work on boobs, genitals, breasts, whatever. That's a quote. And according to our ethics code, the LMT could lose their license for touching client genitals. And this aide is one of the people who has watched this ordinance from its inception, and yet he knows nothing about the regulations of legitimate LMTs. He just told this LMT how to lose his license. There are other pitfalls in this language of this ordinance, too many to touch on right now. So please do not adopt this ordinance tonight. If you insist on adopting this ordinance, please adopt the exemption wording I sent to you all on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Licensed massage therapists who are providing massage services in accordance with KRS 309-364, 350-364, and 201-KAR 42010 to 42110. These offices, salons, and clinics where they legally provide services shall not be considered massage facilities. The last sentence is necessary because the proposed ordinance defines massage facility as an establishment where any person who performs or permits massage to be performed for compensation. That clearly defines any site where I've ever worked. So the legitimate massage business must be exempted. Remember, the LMT will be subject to action against their license if evidence of violation of our regulations are provided. I hope to work with Mr. Hudson and the other sponsors going forward to develop an ordinance that actually addresses human trafficking crimes, prostitution, and solicitation. More cities across the country are enacting real penalties for the rapists who pay for the trafficking of women.
Your 3 minutes has expired. Please wrap it up.
Most city ordinances now address these problems without using the word massage, calling the crimes what they are: trafficking, prostitution, and solicitation. Use of the word massage endangers the LMT when a confused man decides that
we appreciate you coming out.
Might use the same word, and he might get some here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth Rackley.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Rackley. I'm a business owner of a massage therapy business. I'm a licensed massage therapist since 2005. It has been 20 years. I do not take this ordinance lightly. I did provide you a packet. Yes, the first page is an attention grabber. It's on purpose because there is a significant difference between a sex worker looking at the body and a licensed massage therapist. In this, to echo what Denise has said, there is a lot of issues here. There's a lot of contradictions. There's a lot of gray area. Again, to echo her, there is no such thing as legislative intent. It is either in black and white or it does not exist. Laws cannot be enforced. Ordinances cannot be enforced on opinion. They are only enforced on what is written. So I just want to go ahead and give you a chance to stop and think about this. We are being asked to trust that this will be amended later. The very people that are asking us to trust this have given 4 different stories as to who has helped work on this. First one, the Kentucky board was involved. That has been denied by the board. Second one, a board member must have been contacted. There's been no one before. A local massage person involved. That person I spoke with the other day and said they've not been involved. The last story hit me tonight on my way here. The FBI was involved in writing this. Now, imagine you're going to get a mortgage for your home. You are expecting to trust. You're expecting to believe what that mortgage broker is telling you. But they want you to get an adjustable rate. Do you want to get an adjustable rate? Trust me, the rates will never go up. Adjustable rates are nothing but a pitfall and a way to reach a home. But we are being expected to leave an adjustable rate, with 4 different stories being projected to us. What is the problem with the delay? That is all we are asking. What is the rush? Why do you have to rush something if there's nothing wrong with it? We are in favor of shutting down all these illicit practices. We want them gone. We make that very clear. We want them gone. I do not want people showing up to my business asking for more than is legal. I don't want anything to do with it, and I don't want any of my therapists to have anything to do with it. Let's enact things exactly the way Ms. Lawson has put forth. Let's take a moment, take a breath. Let's work together with actual people and not imagined stories. Let's work together. We are not at odds. You want what's best for our community. We want what's best for our community. This is not a fight. This is just a request to take a moment. Just a moment. And let's do it right. Let's not leave it open for interpretation. Let's not put our therapists at risk. Let's work together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for showing up tonight. Here we go. I wear this hat and the Punisher logo in memory of Chris Kyle. That's my brother and my hero. I will not take it off for no one other than where I deem necessary. Members of Metro Council, fellow Lavillians, and proud patriots of this great city. Today I stand before you not as a lifelong citizen and veteran, but as a servant of we the people who built this place that we call home. First and foremost, I want to say a thank you, a heartfelt thank you to the 50,000 veterans who call Louisville home. Brave men and women who have stood in the breach for these freedoms, from the fields of Europe to the jungles of Vietnam and the sands of the Middle East. Their sacrifices echo in every single district of this city. And to those right here among us on this council who have donned that uniform, Kevin Bratcher, Betsy Rui, Anthony Gianchettini, yeah, I nailed it. I'm sorry, let me get back here. Thank you guys for your service. You remind us that true strength is forged in duty, not debates. But my gratitude extends beyond the wars to all of the patriots in the 26 districts who show up for the smaller communities. The volunteers that are stocking the pantries, those mentoring kids, and the families that fly the American flag. Without us together, we are weakened. With us united, Louisville stands unbreakable. We are the glue, the grit, the guardians of what makes us more than a city. We are a family. Problems don't solve themselves by pointing the fingers of blame. In my opinion, we can stop pointing the fingers outwards and start pointing them inwards. Ask yourself, how can I improve? One more act of kindness can ripple throughout our entire neighborhoods. This is how we rise, not by tearing down, but by lifting up. I look forward to continuing to serve the people of this great city. Louisville isn't perfect, but it's ours. And together with the spirit of our veterans and patriots leading the way, we can make it even a better place. A special thank you to LMPD, the Sheriff's Office, and our state troopers. Thank you for your service. God bless all of you. God bless those serving and protecting us, my friends that are deployed right now. 10 years of VFW service to this community. People say, who are you? Well, now you know. So thank you to LMPD, the sheriffs, and the state troopers. Thank you for your service. God bless all of you, and God bless Louisville.
Thank you. Galen Zavala Sherby.
My name is Donald Wallace Sherby. I live, work, and worship in District 21. I'm here to talk today about the proposed change to the anti-masking ordinance from Councilman J.P. Limacher. I'm here to speak in favor of it. When I was a child, I had the privilege of going and visiting family in Honduras during the time of the Juan Orlando Hernandez dictatorship in that country. And at that time, they instituted a nationwide law that permitted their law enforcement officers, National Guardsmen, and the military to wear masks and to basically hide their identities. And this created a situation very rapidly in that country where they had set up military checkpoints and whatnot, where organized crime was able to seize upon that reality that was established, that fear, and start to dress themselves up in whatever way they needed to be able to extort people. So there was always that little hint of fear every time you would approach one of these checkpoints. So why is this relevant to us today? Well, we're looking around the country right now in places like Los Angeles, places like Chicago, where we have, once again, masked agents of the state going and grabbing people off of the street. When you combine that with the precedent that's been established by the Supreme Court that just because you are brown or speak with an accent, that is enough cause to pull you off the street if you're standing in front of a Home Depot and bring you in for questioning, it creates a very volatile, very, very bad situation. So what Councilman Limacher has brought forward is a change to this ordinance that will just, it really doesn't even change it. It just says specifically, we're going to make sure that it is fairly implemented all across our city for all people, all people. And that is of critical importance. If we're not able to do that equitably, if we have one standard for members of the public and another lesser standard for public servants like you all, I mean, it would be outrageous for you all to want to sit behind a curtain, Wizard of Oz style, and total anonymity and do your job. Law enforcement, ICE agents, whoever it is, are public servants. And yes, that means sometimes facing public anger, the way that you all do. But there is an obligation to face that anger as a public servant. That is the reality that we're confronted with today. If we permit masked agents of the state hiding their identity to do what is being done in other cities, in our city, we will be implementing a culture of fear everywhere for everyone in this city. Whether you look like me, whether you're born in another country or not, everyone will be impacted by this. So I strongly urge folks to support this and to vote in favor of it when the time comes. Thank you very much.
My name is Alan Bailey. I was a staff sergeant in the Army for about 11 years. About 2 of those years were spent in an actual war zone at actual war. I worked in the National Security Council and worked with some of the most classified materials in the nation. And at no point in my career did I wear a mask to hide my identity. I learned a lot during my time in the military, and 2 of the most important things I learned were discipline and accountability. At this point, we have hundreds of hours of footage proving the lack of discipline in the ranks of federal agencies like ICE, from assault to drunk driving to property damage to harassment to brandishing firearms illegally to more assault. We've seen videos of these masked agents' ineptitude, and what qualifies as leadership in these agencies seems to have no interest in instilling discipline within their ranks. In the absence of discipline, we need accountability.
Right.
We need to know who these people are, we need to know what they look like, and we need to know what they're doing at all times. That means taking the masks off. It would seem to me that these same masked belligerents that need to hide when they are running around acting as at Louisville, Kentucky, in these United States, is a war zone Monday through Friday, terrorizing our community, and then spending weekends partying on Whiskey Row, because Louisville, Kentucky, in these United States, is in fact not a war zone. And our immigrant community presents no credible threat. And in fact, the only credible threat that I've seen comes from unaccountable public servants who use tax dollars to try to reenact what they've seen on TV. A recent quote in the Courier-Journal said, LAPD officers see time and time again when assailants, trigger pullers, are wearing masks to conceal their identities. We see it too. Traveling white Suburbans, armed to the teeth, to harass our neighbors and friends and violate citizens' 14th Amendment rights. If the original statement is true, then the law must be enforced evenly across the city. If we are subject to this ordinance, everyone is subject to this ordinance. And if any of these people want to see what an actual war zone looks like, I'm more than happy to drive down with them to Outer Loop, and we can sign up. In the absence of discipline, we need accountability. Every city council member should be voting yes to mask ordinance. Take masks off. Thank you.
Next, we have the approval of the council minutes for the regular meeting of October 30th, 2025. Are there any corrections or deletions? Motion. Items brought to the floor, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposition? In opposition, those minutes are written, approved. Next, we have approval of the following committee minutes, all in 2025. The regular committee of the whole, October 30th. The regular planning and zoning, November 4th. The regular labor economic development, November 4th. The regular public works, November 4th. The regular government oversight audit appointments, November 4th. The regular equity, community affairs, housing, health, and education, November 5th. The regular appropriations, November 5th. The regular public safety, November 5th. The regular ad hoc committee on efficiencies of boards and commissions, November 5th. The regular parks and sustainability, November 6th. The regular budget, November 6th. The special ad hoc committee on efficiencies of boards and commissions, November 11th. Are there any corrections, deletions? No corrections or deletions. I've heard a motion. I've heard a second. Four, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any in opposition? These minutes are approved as written. Madam Clerk, do we have any communications to the council?
Yes, sir, we do.
Please read those in the record.
Dear President Ackerson, in accordance with the Hazardous Materials Ordinance Appeals and Overseers Board, I am reappointing the following: Corinne Greenberg, reappointment term expires December 31st, 2029. Sheldon Fisher, reappointment term expires November 1st, 2029. This to be read into record only. Metro Council approval of these reappointments is not required. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Ackerson, I am appointing and reappointing the following to the Kentucky Science Center: David Tandy, a reappointment term expires June 30th, 2026. Keith Curtis, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2027. Sandra Baker, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2028. William Compton, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2028. Kristen Cook, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2028. Ron Vandahar, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2028. Andrea Wilson, a reappointment term expires June 30, 2028. Daniel Hawk, a new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. Brett Norton, a new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. Norman C. Wright III, new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. William Setter, a new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. Ashley Taylor, a new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. Marty Walsh, a new appointment term expires June 30, 2028. This will be read into the record. Only Metro Council approval of these appointments is not required. Sincerely, Craig Member Mayor. Dear President Ackerson, in accordance with the Health and the Board of Health Ordinance, I am reappointing the following: Patricia Batista Severa, a reappointment term expires July 31st, 2028. Your prompt action on this reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Lindbergh, Mayor. Dear President Ackerson, in accordance with the Human Relations Advocacy Board Ordinance, I am reappointing the following: Yolanda Reed, a reappointment term expires September 30th, 2028. Your prompt action on this reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Ackerson, in accordance with the Human Relations Commission Enforcement Board Ordinance, I am reappointing the following: Maurice Sweeney, a reappointment term expires September 30, 2028. Your prompt action on this reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor. Dear President Ackerson, in accordance with the ordinance, I am reappointing the following to the Planning Commission: Mark Benitez, a reappointment term expires October 1st, 2028. Your prompt action on this reappointment is most appreciated. Sincerely, Craig Greenberg, Mayor.
Those appointments needing council approval before the Government Oversight Audit Committee. The next order of business will be the consent calendar. Consent calendar comprises of items 23 through 40. Are there any additions or deletions?
President Ackerson, I would like to request that item 47 be moved from old business to the consent calendar. It was on old business because it came out of planning and zoning with a present vote, so it was put on old business. The council member who voted present requested that we move it to the consent council calendar, and I agree. Would like to request that we do that.
Is there any objection to that? Hearing no objection, Madam Clerk, would you please do that?
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, second reading of those items.
The following legislation was forwarded from the Appropriations Committee. Item 23, an ordinance appropriating $10,000 from District 9 Neighborhood Development Fund City Office of Management Budget to Trees Louisville Inc. for tree canopy improvement projects along Frankfurt Avenue. The following legislation was forwarded from the Budget Committee. Item 24, an ordinance amending ordinance number 091, Series 2025, relating to the fiscal year 2025-2026 operating budget by changing the language associated with the improvements to the Valley Station baseball field and Prairie Village baseball field. Item 25, an ordinance amending ordinance number 072, Series 2020, relating to the fiscal year 2020-2021 capital budget and ordinance number 092, Series 2025, relating to the fiscal year 2025-2026 capital budget by transferring funds between projects and establishing a new project. Item 26, an ordinance amending local metro code of ordinances, LMCO, sections 32.129 and 32.140 regarding the local police retirement fund. Item 27, an ordinance amending the local metro code of ordinances, LMCO, sections 32.168 and 32.170 regarding the local firefighters pension fund. Item 28, a resolution determining real property located at 209 North English Station Road is surplus and not needed for the governmental purposes of metro government and authorizing its transfer. The following legislation was forwarded from the Equity, Community Affairs, Housing, Health, and Education Committee. Item 29, a resolution honoring Mary Lee and George Fisher by rededicating the corner of East Witherspoon Street and North Floyd Street as Mary Lee and George Fisher Way in their honor. The following legislation was forwarded from the Government Oversight and Appointments Committee. Item 30, the reappointment of Jasmine Tate to the new Little Review Overlay District Committee, term expires February 26, 2028. Item 31, appointment of Caitlin Meinhardt to the new Little Review Overlay District Committee, term expires February 26, 2028. Item 32, a reappointment of Naomi Rose Pauline to the Revenue Commission, term expires October 1st, 2028. Item 33, appointment of Stephanie Minor to the Revenue Commission, term expires October 1st, 2028. Following legislation was forwarded from the Labor Economic Development Committee. Item 34, a resolution determining certain property at 4711, 4713, and 4715 Park Boulevard as surplus and not needed for governmental purpose and authorizing its transfer. Item 35, a resolution pursuant to the capital operating budget ordinances approving the appropriation of funds of the following non-competitively negotiated sole source contract for Louisville Metro Department of Health, Public Health and Wellness to purchase pack and plays, Save Sleep Kits, Cribs for Kids, $55,000. Following legislation was forwarded from Parks and Sustainability Committee. Item 36, an ordinance amending the local Jefferson County Metro Government Code of Ordinances, LMCO, section 42.312, to prohibit overnight parking in metro parks. Item 37, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept a cash donation in the amount of $211,581.35 as beneficiary to two annuities belonging to the Ronald to be administered by the Department of Parks and Recreation. The following legislation was forwarded from Planning and Zoning Committee. Item 38, an ordinance amending sections 1.2.2, 2.4.5, and 4.2.29 of the Louisville Metro Land Development Code regarding freestanding birding facilities, case number 25 LEC 0007. Item 39, a resolution requesting the Planning Commission review the Louisville Metro Development Code, Land Development Code relating to packaged liquor stores. Item 40, a resolution authorizing the mayor to accept $750,000 from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency through the Brownfield Revolving Loan Fund, RLF, cooperative agreement to be administered through the Office of Planning. And item 47, an ordinance relating to the South Central Neighborhood Planning, or plan and approving its executive summary as an amendment to the Plan 2040 Comprehensive Plan, case number 25 LDC 0010. Ready for
Motion. Second. Items brought before us, the consent calendar requires a roll call vote. Madam Clerk, open the roll.
Councilmember Paris Wright.
Yes.
Yes.
One moment, I'm doing it for you. Councilmember, Rena Weber.
Yes.
Councilmember, Winkler.
Yes.
There you go. Councilmember Reed. And President Ackerson.
Yes.
President, you have 26 yes votes.
The consent calendar is adopted. The next item of business is special legislation pursuant to Metro Council Rule 7.01B. Item 41 is the administrative function of the council, permitting this item to be introduced and voted upon at the same council meeting. It's our council calendar for next year, folks. Okay?
Motion.
Madam Clerk, a reading of item 41?
Thank you. A resolution approving the schedule of the regular meetings of the Legislative Council of the Little Jefferson County Metro Government Council for the calendar year 2026.
Second. Item dropped before, is any discussion on it? Hearing none, this is an item that requires a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposition? Hearing no opposition, the resolution is adopted. The next item of business will be old business. Madam Clerk, a reading of item number 42, please.
A resolution approving the reappointment of Ed Harness as the Inspector General of Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government. Motion.
Item dropped before us, this came out of Councilwoman Purposes Committee, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was voted on in the last Government Oversight Accountability Committee meeting, and the votes were 5-4, with the majority voting no to reinstate Mr. Harness. Because of that, we sent it here today to be put on old business for the full council to weigh in on reinstating and reappointing Mr. Ed Harness as the Inspector General.
Anyone in the queue? My queue is not your Councilman T.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll make this quick to give all my colleagues an opportunity to vote here. But I think it's worthwhile to spell out the handful of concerns that those, including myself, that will vote no tonight on why we're voting no. First and foremost, it is not a personal commentary in any way on Mr. Ed Harness. He's a good man. I wish him well in the outcome of the vote here, and I assume we'll continue to work together if he's reelected or reappointed. The issue is about the decisions that have been made and our concerns with those decisions that actually can reduce the credibility of the CRAB board if they continue. For example, in one case, a recommendation coming out of Mr. Harness's office and the CRAB board, there were 13 demonstrable issues with it, including the accusation of, quote, or not going to quote, but lies on a warrant which were demonstrably not true, which was one of the underlying issues with the case related to the death of Breonna Taylor, which, if were true, would be quite egregious, but was not true. And by making these demonstrably incorrect statements, again, risks confusion in the community about what is happening. There was another investigation that was instigated on pure hearsay on an incident that happened 5 years prior with no other evidence. There was another case when criticism of the use of force was given against an officer when not just our chief of police, but also the Commonwealth attorney herself agreed that the use of force was completely justified and no charges or complaints were brought against that individual. So I'm just highlighting a few of the instances where there were demonstrable errors that we have concerns with. And then the last thing I'm going to say is we did receive some calls from some community members. In many, I'm not going to say all, but in many of the cases, these were folks that were openly antagonistic toward law enforcement in a public manner, not folks that seem to want to bring together both the community and law enforcement, which again gives us concern about who is supporting Mr. Harness's renomination. With that said, I just wanted to voice those concerns. We want to make sure everybody has the chance to vote. Appreciate the time, Mr. President. Thank you.
I've got no one else in my queue, but folks' queue, as always, is chaotic, so, you're in the queue.
I just want to say I wouldn't want to see no one else in the seat besides Ed Harness, a trust transparency bowl, and it's what the community wants to see. I'm in support of this. Thank you.
Again, My queue's not working. Anyone else? Seeing no one else in the queue, this is normally it would require a voice vote. However, due to the importance of the issue, and that everyone's vote gets recorded, we're going to do this as a roll call. Madam Clerk, open the roll.
Councilmember Parrish Wright,
Yes.
Councilmember Reno Weber,
Yes.
and Councilmember Winkler.
Yes.
President Ackerson.
I don't have anything to vote on. I mean, yes, but again, my system is not working. Record me as a yes.
I got you, sir. Mr. President, you have 14 yes votes and 12 no votes.
The resolution is adopted, Mr. Harness, your name.
Congratulations, Mr. Harness.
Madam Clerk, read by number 43.
An ordinance appropriating $2,000 from neighborhood development funds in the following manner: $1,000 from districts 4 and 8 through the Office of Management Budget to Young Adult Development and Action Inc. for funding a culinary instruction position for its youth-build culinary training program beginning.
Through every note, every performance, the arts connect us. The arts connect us through joy and through awe, bridging cultures and generations. From intimate theaters to the grandest stages, the arts bring us together, reminding us that we're never truly alone. When we experience the arts, we experience each other. Kentucky Performing Arts. The arts connect us.
Hey y'all, I'm Attica Scott, former Kentucky State Representative, and you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.
We will continue to provide updates as we have more information.
And you're joining me today on State Watch Nights.